I had hoped to find you here. I wished to speak to you. Of her. Of Sindragosa. Beloved and muse to her late aspect, Malygos. Caligos told me you met her simulacrum. Yet, I doubt you understand her tragedy, mortal. After all, you are so very young. So, let me tell you. Malygos had loved her since long before the Great Sundering. She was his muse, his consort, his treasure. But with her strong will and mind, they certainly had their disagreements. It mattered little. Their love withstood such challenges easily. Together, Malygos and Sindragosa had a son, Umbraskull, and one rumored daughter, Sindragosa. It is here that Sindragosa's tragedy begins. A terrible fate befell Umbraskull. Raw arcane energy had infected him, causing crystal growths across his body, and his mind would one day break as a result. To save him, Lady Sindragosa chose to seal him away in the Azure Vaults and seek a cure. But fate was ever cruel, and she would be forced to leave him there before the research ever concluded. What drove her to never return to the Azure Vaults, you may wonder. There was none other than Neltharion, the Black Dragon aspect. His discovery of the Dragon Soul to combat the demon threat fascinated Malygos. But with a heavy heart, Sindragosa mistrusted the supposed miracle weapon, and the one who had created it. During the War of the Ancients, the Earth Warder indeed did betray them. He decimated the Blue Flight, and mortally wounded Sindragosa, flinging her to the icy north, to Icecrown. It is said that dragons once sought to die in Dragonblight, and so the dying Sindragosa struggled to reach it, even though her wounded wings could not carry her and her sight failed. Her desperate cries to her beloved Malygos were lost to the howling winds, and no help would ever come. She died, knowing her spirit would not find peace, and in her dying moments, rage and delirium overtook her. And still, this would not be the end of tragedies that befell her. It was yet thousands of years later that her restless spirit was called upon. Arthas Menethil, the Lich King, drew her back, resurrecting her as a dreaded frostworm, enslaving her to be his weapon. Her rage endured as she saw her flight raised to undeath. A Frostbrood army for her to lead into war. Deep in Icecrown Citadel she remained, to empower the Frostbrood and defend the Lich King. In his name, she was forced to take countless lives. It was not until the war against the Lich King concluded that Sindragosa, at last, was defeated for good. All that remained of her was her skull, and the very essence of her, forever crystallized. We could not leave her there, to rest alone in the frozen halls. Not again. And so Caligos ordered her crystallized essence be brought to Wyrmrest Temple, that she could not be brought back again, and rest among dragonkind for good. But now, with the Dragon Isles receiving us once again and the Blue Dragonflight reunited, perhaps we can do better. It is time to return Lady Sindragosa home. that this queen among blue dragons may at last truly be at peace.